Wow.
That was awesome.
Hello.
I'm really happy with that.
I
What's
thought we
going
would
on,
do some
everybody?
hard rock today.
You really did. You brought the pain.
I don't need the coffee anymore.
It was fun to watch everyone's reactions in the green room. Everyone was like,
That's better than coffee.
The
I am
headband.
digging that.
"Yep."
I'm
Intense.
digging it.
I love
Welcome everybody to Content Shop, the video or the show where we review videos that sell. And the idea is we get into the good, the bad, the scroll stopper, and lastly we get into the chop where we do the deep dive into a piece of content about whether or not it worked and why we think it did or it didn't and what it can do to get better if not. Let's introduce our guest hosts today. We have Ron Cool and Corey Carter of Hindsight Hacking Media. What's up, guys?
What is
What's going on, everyone?
Yeah, and Luis and Fonzie of the Biz Bros.
I think we need some sound effects over here.
Sound effects.
And myself, Jim Beer from the X's and O's Game Show. And we are going to get into it. So, our first video today, we're going to get into the good.
Jim,
All right.
Make it happen.
So, we're going to start off with some good videos, so some stuff we think is working, and we're going to talk about why we think so. So, let's get into it. Ron, kick us off with our little intro.
I don't have a good one.
For the good?
Nope, no good. Nope,
All right.
no good.
No bueno, no bueno.
I guess no intro for
All
that.
right.
Bro, yeah,
All
one
right.
job, man.
Well, let's get into the first video then, shall we? So go ahead and put up my share here. All right, our first one up, powerofferworkshop.com. Let's get into it. It makes you want to do it. It makes you want to get into it like the cat is. I'm loving it. All right, let's talk about it. What do we think?
I just want to say we should all do that like us. Like,
Yeah. I had no idea that was a
That's
cat.
going to be the next ad for this show. Or
I
the
had
first
no
ad
idea that
for
was a
this show.
cat at first. I was like, what is
So
that thing?
good. This is jamming. Like
All
it
right.
made me want to do it.
Yeah,
So
we-
what made me stop on it is I knew who it was from, but
Okay.
just it made you laugh, right? Like it
Yeah,
made you want to stop and you're like, what is that? Oh, it's a cat. Why is the cat, right? Like it made you stop and think and I don't think many people that aren't aware of who Joel Irway I'm not sure that they would be intrigued enough to go and click on it.
Yeah. So I'm not familiar with it, but I would have definitely go clicked in it because he was so different. Like that's my impression. Like obviously,
But is that your marketer's mind talking, or
I
You
think that
know.
was like my dad joke mind talking because like I thought that was hilarious. I'm like, what's this?
yeah? So the way I see it is, I mean, it definitely catches your attention because it's like, what is this giant cat shaking his head doing here? And then you turn on the volume and you hear that sound. It's like, whoa, like this is pretty cool. But for me, what does it is the domain. I think the domain leaves pretty clear who he's talking to, right? Power offers, someone that is looking to better what they're offering. So based on curiosity, I would probably click it. But again, this might be just my marketing mind trying to be like, oh, I'm curious to see what's on the other side. If I was someone, right, like that maybe wasn't thinking on that, and I might not have clicked it, to be honest.
I can get on board with that. I mean, I think it plays to social media, right? It's entertaining. So they've got that part, but the transition to now, okay, sell something or go do this thing. The call to action was pretty weak. Maybe if that guy that was doing the bongos had actually been like, hey, do you have this problem? This is your solution. Go check it out. Maybe then that would have gotten it to go there, but it was super entertaining. So
Corey.
they got that.
Yeah, I got the entertainment piece. I don't know if I would click on it. Like even if the guy like at the end stopped playing the drums and held up a sign that said do something, I didn't know when to do something and it was over. I was waiting for something.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, all good points.
Corey, question. So
Yeah.
you say you follow him. So was that a retargeting ad?
I follow him more on podcasting. I'm not a friend of his on Facebook. I'm not really on any of his circles, but I just know who he is because of his podcast. So it could be, but I don't think it is. I think it just showed up on my feed, and again, to me, it was about 5 seconds too long. Like I would have, if we weren't doing this, I probably would have just kept going, and because of waiting for that thing. But then it was like, I agree that the message was for the domain was clear, and then it had the price like super cheap, right? Like $37. Oh, I mean, it's not free, but like it had all the information you would need. I think if you are anybody trying to work online and you need help with an offer, like those are the people I think would go. But no, I think it was just a smidge too long, because again, if we weren't doing this, I probably would have just kept going.
Yeah. It just
Fair enough.
run with the
Corey,
lower thirds on point. I love it.
Corey, people in the Philippines might not agree with you that $37 is super cheap. Just saying.
Sorry, guys in the Philippines.
but he might not be running the ads in the Philippines. He probably is running into his market here in the US. Not the
Yeah.
All right. Let's get into the next video.
Make it happen.
So this one, we've got Blake Newbar, who was on Offer Launchpad, explaining his whole process of how he launched his group and his first big partner program. Really great content. I'm sure everyone here remembers that launch. That launch was insane. He got a lot of attention, a lot of eyeballs really, really fast. So let's see what he's rocking out with right now. Play the video, Blake.
Oh, we got.
Hold on. All right, let's pull back.
I cannot ignore the 3,000
You're
tabs.
trying to make money with an online business, then
Yeah,
you
you
probably
can.
experience the invisible wall. The wall that no matter what you do, no matter how passionate you are, no matter how smart you are, you just can't seem to break through. And you're sitting there laying in bed at night wondering why. And the answer is actually a lot simpler than you think. It's because you're trying the same mainstream business strategies as a million other people. But what if I told you there was a different way? What if I told you there was a better way to start or grow an online business that virtually no one knows about? It's called the Social Media Lead Machine. And inside of this, I show you the exact tools and strategies that I use in my business to generate free leads and free sales on a daily basis. And I release them to you. And all for just $7, you can get your hands on this, okay? So click the link that's somewhere around this video, join me on the page, and I'll give you a little bit more information about how exactly this works and how you too can start or grow your online business today. If you've ever tried to make money with an online business, then you've probably...
All right, let's get into it. Our own Blake Newbar from the ClickFunnels space. We all know him very well. What do we think? How do you do with this one?
I like the image of hitting the wall, right?
Mhm.
I thought that was actually kind of smart, and I liked how he did it. Like and he kept talking and he didn't move right away. So it like sank in, like, yeah, you know what? That's how I feel. So he got people to really understand not only that's how you're feeling, but you could see what it looks like too. I liked it.
Yeah, I enjoyed that. Like it definitely is a stopper for you to reset your attention when he hits the glass. I think he could have gone into it a little harder, like come in a little hotter, and that would have really sold it.
Right.
But I thought it was cool. And then he's talking the whole time, so you already know what he's on topic. He's on pace to make sure you know something's coming to sell. You're about to get sold something. And he kept your attention the whole time. So I think that he really played to the 15-second kind of mark of attention reset. And I don't think it's an incredibly shareable video, but I think that if you're targeted for it, it'll get your attention.
Yeah, I don't think he was maybe going for shareability. I mean, this is all direct response elements all over it, right? I mean, get their attention, call to action. I love that he actually included the price in the ad because it's $7, right? So like we're saying, $7. That's
Corey,
right.
Corey, that is super cheap.
That is cheap. Okay, good.
But
I got the difference.
yeah, but in people's mind, right? I'm thinking that is removing is removing the risk on whoever is gonna go on the other side, because it's like it's just $7, right? Like, what am I gonna lose if I check it out? So I think instead of watching that ad and then people thinking like, wow, all that, how much is it gonna cost? It's probably gonna cost me like $100, right? But immediately he drops that price after telling you, you know, what he's gonna give you, what that feeling actually. He's not giving you all the exact points. He's just telling you, you know, what he's gonna teach you, that social lead machine, and then just drop the price. I think I would click personally. I think I would go to the other side.
I think at the very beginning he does a really good job at qualifying that person that comes in through it, right? Because, you know, obviously he's explaining exactly who he's talking to, and then the problem that we're might be very familiar with, you know, that we're doing the hitting the wall, and like Ron said, visually that was pretty attractive, exactly smack again, right? And in my head I'm like, how would have I done it, right? Like, and normally people go with like, you know, you hit that wall and you do it visually with your hands, maybe something, but he's like, he literally took it, you know, hey, to a level. Yeah. Smack. Hashtag smack in the comments, please. And I think that was cool. So, you know, I think we have to like throw Fonzie into the wall more often.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh man!
Maybe
So
that's our first ad then.
the beauty of Blake is anybody that knows him, knows his success, knows you know, where he's been and what he has done in this online space. And so if you know him at all, and then but you don't know about the social lead machine, and so at the end of the day, I guarantee anybody that knows his name but didn't know about that $7 product clicked on that and went and bought it. And I don't know about you guys, but I know I have it. So
yeah, absolutely.
I love his funnel.
Same here. Like I met, so we met Daxi. You know, we went to Podfest with him. Yeah, Fonzie, I have it. And then he was talking about his relationship with Blake and then how he was moving to Orlando to live with him. And then I saw that ad. That's 14. No, definitely 7. He doesn't have it.
You and Corey have it. That's $14.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he's making some money. And then just because I knew of him, I was like, man, this is, you know, a very cheap offer. Corey again, thank you. Let's see what's up, right? And it was really cool to kind of see that, right? So totally relate to what you were saying, Corey.
And anybody that has gone through that funnel, it has nothing to do with the ad itself. And I actually got it from some other, like Steve Larson, something I bought from Steve. It was like included in there, so I didn't actually pay. Yeah. But when you log in, next thing you know, there's like 4 different OTOs. I mean, he goes all out with OTOs. So he has this $7 thing that he can just put on autopilot, never have to think about. But he probably has a cart value of $100 or more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Something interesting too that I saw is his affiliates, right, use it for their specific markets, right? So, you know, we know a few people that have done it like very specifically to like insurance agents, like this stuff. So they just tackle that with that same affiliate offer, because I think he goes pretty hard on the commission side of things, and it's the same exact funnel, right? And then it's just like running because those OTOs are so optimized with probably all that data that has been coming in, right? So I think I saw it too, or Alex Elliott was working with him too at some point where, you know, they were promoting the heck out of this, right? So really interesting.
I mean, we could do an entire show just on that group to product launch that Blake did. We could do an entire show on that. Maybe we should.
Yeah, maybe we should.
Pull off all that. Like, this is how he made the group. This is how he sold the product. This is how he made it evergreen, and just do an entire show on that. Let us know in the comments. Is that something you guys would like? Do hashtag what's Newbar up to?
Wow.
That's long.
That's long.
How about hashtag Newbar?
Jim doesn't want to do that show.
I'm not good at
like, how do I spell Newbar?
I have someone help me with hashtag.
What's interesting is what Corey said. So it's a low entry into his value ladder, right? So it's $7. His cart value's up there, right? So when people are looking at something that they either want to put on Evergreen or put something to get people's attention, add a ton of value, keep it cheap, so you get them into your ecosystem. Yeah. Then you can progress them up the value ladder.
Yeah, absolutely. I
Absolutely.
wonder what this is totally random question, but like, what is his main, middle, top of the ladder product? Does he has a service, or does he just does this affiliate like a skill?
He does the lead machine, which is his very small ticket thing, to where he essentially has templates. He hands you as much as he can and just says, replace these things.
Okay.
And then he has, I'm loving this. Then he's got the group, and inside the group, he'll do a lot of affiliate sales for other people. So that's his mid-range, is affiliate.
Oh, okay.
And then he has his partner program, which is his big thing. It was $2,000. I think it's more now.
Oh,
But
okay.
that's essentially where he gives you a bunch of templates that you can then go out and sell.
Yeah.
You white label it on his behalf,
Oh,
kind of like KBB style.
Yeah.
Yeah. But those are his items he has right now. Now it's all evergreen, so he has minimal involvement other than in the group.
Yeah.
Let's get into the next one.
Interesting. Thank you, Jim. Appreciate it.
Zer.
What's up, Big Shot? It's nice to see you again. It's like looking in a mirror 5 years from now. It's nice to see you, Gordon. We're off to a great start. Look, I promise you I'm going to be good, okay? All right, first question. It's Father's Day. That's right around the corner. So how are the kids? Good. They're children of celebrities. They always turn out normal. I'm sure they're going to be fine. Thank you. Oh, I hear Deadpool 2's great. I haven't seen it yet. Why? No, I was recently diagnosed with stage 4. I don't give a shit. I'm afraid it's terminal. Let's talk aviation gin, huh? You bought a gin company. I mean, that's so grown up of you. Yes, aviation gin. What about a monkey? Sorry? Yeah, lots of celebs, they buy monkeys. Justin Bieber had a monkey, Bubbles. That was Michael Jackson. Back to aviation. Why? Well, because aviation gin is the best goddamn gin on the planet. That's why. Huh. And you invented it? You invented gin? No. You dumb fire. Gin's been around for hundreds of years, and aviation is just a craft gin from Portland, Oregon. Portland. Wow. You'd think they'd make port. Mind if I have a wee nip here? Be my guest.
Please drink responsibly.
Oh, that was a lot. Happy gin day. Oh, it tastes like a sunrise had sex with a feather duster. Really, you can use that. You can have that. You can have that slogan for free if you want. Don't want it. Okay. So aviation, American gin. Are you American? You know I'm Canadian. Can you fly a plane? No. Okay. So roughly, how many celebrities passed before they found you? All right. I think I've had about enough. Stop it. Don't. Butterberry Juniper Bush. Suburban Commando 2. No. I love you. Oh, you did something right.
All right.
Let's go.
So he's literally got a camera set up, and it's just an interview style, and he's shooting himself once, and then he's responding to himself. And he is hilarious, like just naturally hilarious. I don't know if he has comic writers. I'm sure he has people to kind of guide him through, but so simple and super entertaining.
Yeah. So that was not his real brother?
But just showcasing his personality, and then how they tied in the product. It's obviously he's selling gin. He owns part of this company, and he is now the face of the company. What do you guys think? Was it successful? Would it encourage you to at least check it out? Or is it just funny for the sake of funny, and it also happens to include gin?
You got to check it out if it includes gin. No, I thought it was funny. I thought it was unique. It was different. I like how he pretty much took stabs at himself.
Mhm.
So I thought that was really cool. But it also plays on the whole Deadpool thing, right?
Yep.
So it's the fourth screen, and he plays to the audience. Like he's great at that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Absolutely. What do you think, Corey?
Well, I'm not a gin drinker, and
Myself either.
but that was funny enough, and I love Ryan Reynolds, that I would be down to try it if somebody handed it to me. I don't know if I'd go buy a bottle, but if somebody bought me a shot or something, I might go try it, just because of Ryan Reynolds being the face of it and having fun with something like that. So
Yeah, I agree, and I think that's an excuse for us to do one day an episode of alcoholic beverages reviews. Just throwing that out there. I've actually never.
Corey will drink it.
I've
Ron,
actually.
you are on that.
I've never tried gin before. I'm curious to try it, right? And probably now, if I would go to try it, that's the brand that I would look for, right? Because it's the brand that I've seen. I mean, I love Deadpool. I connected with him, with Ryan Reynolds. Yes, fun to go drink it indeed. So, but I think it's an awareness level type of ad, right? Like, it's not anything very direct response where he's like calling out to a specific type of audience. He's just being himself. And the good thing is he has such a massive reach, right? He has a huge audience and people that absolutely love him. So that definitely plays for the brand.
Yeah, there's a few elements that like attractive character. Obviously, Ryan times 2. It's funny. Like he plays like images in your head of like how it tastes, right? So now you're imagining like this crazy thing that might mean something to you, right? So you're like, okay, you're more prone to go maybe try it. Like I said, like I'm not a gin drinker, but if I were to like refer somebody like, hey, what's a good gin? I'd probably say Aviator because it's the first thing that comes to my mind, right? Like, is that awareness factor?
It's literally the only
Or
brand.
maybe a really good campaign for people that don't know gin, which is a lot. I mean, I've had gin before. I thought it was awful, but maybe it was because I didn't have aviation,
Yeah.
And if I ever think to myself, man, I want a drink that's like a sunrise had sex with a feather duster,
Yeah.
then I know where I go.
I did not type fast enough for that.
Yeah, you can go to the bar and ask like, what drink do you have that tastes like a sunrise had sex with a feather duster? And they'll be like,
Maybe like
Asian gin, absolutely,
Yeah, to me that's rum.
That's rum.
all right, now we're gonna get into some bad.
I'll just go party.
All right, so we got Brendan Kane, 1 million followers.
Ooh.
So these got really popular for a while.
Yeah.
The flipping the pages of the book, doing things with the book, chucking the book at your kids.
I don't remember seeing that.
That's just Jim.
I haven't made a book yet.
That's just Jim throwing books at kids.
Services.
So what do
Yes.
you guys think? This is more like not a particular ad, but a style of ad that has gained in popularity. What do you think about this style of ad to where it's like, I have a book, I don't want to talk about it, but I still want you to be at least remotely interested in the fact that I made a book. And yes, I do. I
think that comes to where like how much creative can you throw out there, right? Because you could have that same little flip book kind of deal with a ton of different headlines and then test out and see what happens, what's good on it. I think it's a matter of like, hey, can we go for volume on this strategy, right? Instead of really who am I talking to? So
I think
that's
it's
an
an attention move.
attention move too.
Yeah.
Since like one of the big things like is the benefits of what it costs to maybe one of the readers, right? So I think they might be trying out different headlines. I don't know the back end, but that would be like my first impression.
Yeah.
It allows you to create that volume in very short time.
Yeah. We have the book.
We have the
Does
book.
anyone remember the
I
headline?
have the book as well. And I that's how I got to know Pablo for the first time.
Does anybody remember the headline?
1 million followers.
250,000 followers in 7 days.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
See,
1
so
million followers in 30 days.
In 30 days. Okay.
I had no idea what the headline was. Like I was just watching the book,
Same.
and then I was like, "What's he gonna do with the book?" I mean, it got my attention, but I don't know.
There's been
I would not
ton
click
of
on
people that have used this method, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, is it really landing? Is it doing the job?
Yeah.
Maybe it's good for retargeting. Like they got to that page and they didn't buy.
Yeah.
Maybe that's.
I think ClickFunnels do it too with like the cup of coffee, and then they open the book and they start passing the pages.
They are doing it, yeah.
Yeah.
And I remember like listening to one of the Russell's episodes, and he was saying that he's like, "Hey, we're just trying a bunch of stuff that we've seen cool, right, on the internet, and see what happens." I think they also hired this guy that puts like a bunch of like bands over like watermelons, like. So the guy has a very famous TikTok channel, and that's what he does. He just puts rubber bands on top of like watermelons, and so they did the same thing with the book, right?
Yeah.
So I think they're trying to do those not $7. I think that's at $8.99 for that one.
Is that a free plus shipping book?
Free.
Yeah, I mean, as far as that goes, I didn't. It wouldn't draw me in to go buy it. Maybe if I knew what it was, but there's nothing about an ad like that gets me. But yeah, if it's my 7th time of seeing that person or about that book, maybe. But yeah, definitely as a first time, person, it does nothing, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
Yep.
All right, let's get into another one. This one caused a pretty big uprising when it came out here. This is Gillette. We believe the best men can get. And this was during when the Me Too was like at its peak, the Me Too movement.
Controversy alert, or what do we got?
Oh, yeah.
Masculinity. Is this the best a man can get? Is it? We can't hide from it.
Sexual harassment is taking over.
It's been going on far too long. We can't laugh it off.
Who's the daddy? What I actually think she's trying to say.
Making the same old excuses.
Boys will be boys. Boys will be boys. Boys will be boys.
But something finally changed.
Allegations regarding sexual assault and sexual harassment.
But she says
And there will be no going back. Because we believe in the best in men.
Men need to hold other men accountable.
Smile, sweetie. Come on.
To say the right thing. To act the right way.
Bro, not cool.
Some already are. In ways big
Yo, men.
and small.
I am strong.
But some is not enough.
It's not how we treat each other, okay? Okay.
Because the boys watching today will be the men of tomorrow.
I don't remember ever seeing that.
Yeah.
It
That's
was
the
a
first
big
time I've
deal.
ever seen
It
that.
was a big deal when it came out. It made a lot of people very, very mad. And it did the exact opposite of what they wanted it to. Because, like the Nike, when they brought in Kaepernick, that was a big deal. And that elevated Nike to a whole new level because they sided on a social issue. Like Steve Larson talks about a lot, ride the wave with social issues. Nike did it successfully. Gillette fell on its face. Why do you think that is? That was the reason I wanted to bring it on today.
I'm curious, what was people's response to this?
Men were in an uprising saying we're not all rapists and we're essentially not all the people that are causing this movement. So you bringing this out and directing this at us to try and sell your damn razors is not hitting the mark. And essentially it put out a lot of bad press for Gillette at that given time. It did not put out the bad press that ends up being good like Nike. So I just wanted to see why you guys think that it didn't land. Because the message here, they're trying to ride the social movement at that time, which was Me Too and is still very prevalent and strong. I'm sorry.
When did this ad come out?
This was, let me see if it gives a date. January 13th, 2019.
2019.
How long was that commercial? How long was it?
That was 148.
Maybe a 30-second spot. I don't know. It just seemed a little long to me.
Yeah, for me, like I honestly got like chills. Like it was the first time I saw it. Like it resonated, right? Because
Yeah.
I mean that social issue on harassment and bullying, like it is normally guys, right? So it is throwing rocks, and I don't know if this is my marketer mind talking, but I really felt identify with it, right? Because you know, we come from a different country, obviously, and some of those issues are not as prominent as it is here. As in, you know, we have more other type of social issues, but but like bullying was like never a thing that we talked about, and the first time that we really heard it as a thing that happening was here. But then I relate it, right? Like it's like in some sort, like in a group or whatever, like if you are not from this country, like there's some, you're exposed to that, right? Like going to college, you don't have the same accent, right? It can happen every time. Not that we care, but I felt identified, and I feel like them shedding light on that issue can also bring a positive light. So I was very surprised when you said like this didn't sit well, and I think maybe because a lot of people got offended because they're bullies and they're like, you're pointing at me, right? So I think that is the real issue there, because it's like whenever we see something that, you know, we do but it's exposed, then we get that negative reaction. So I think that is probably a smart move on that, because they're saying the right thing to do is like to stop that behavior. And then if people like argue with that, it's still creating noise, it's still creating conversation, but what does that say about that person, right? So you know, I wasn't expecting to see like that came like a negative reaction. So
you know where I think it fell short is, you ever hear the term, you don't want to make your audience wrong. You want them to align with something. So the reason I think that Nike did well with Colin Kaepernick was that there were people on both sides that also happened to like Nike. With Gillette, they took their target audience and they said, you guys are doing this wrong. Be better. Be better. Make a change. You need to make a change. I think that's where they fell short.
Yeah, they assume
the message is beautiful. Of course, you want to align with that, and we want our children to align with that. But like, if I'm looking at the comments right now, one guy was like, "Been shaving with a piece of glass, works fine."
I think it brought all the haters and all the
haters. Yeah, what kind of company attacks its ideal demographic?
Yeah, I mean, here's my thought though. Like, just again, I was the first time watching that as well for me, and as a father, we know that everything you do, you are being watched.
Oh yeah,
right. Every one of our kids, they watch our every move, whether you think they are or not. They are, right. And so that message to me is like, come on, like let's model for our freaking kids already. And anybody that gets mad at that, I think, you know, what Luis was saying, like that's bad on them. And so if I'm Gillette, at the end of the day, at some point you choose, right? Steve Larson talks about this too, right? Like you choose who you want your people to be. And if I own Gillette, do I really want bullies and people that are gonna, you know, be on the wrong side of the Me Too movement as my customers? Maybe I don't. Right.
So maybe it did its job. Maybe it filtered their audience.
Yeah. I mean, it didn't raise their income statement on like they probably wanted to, but at the end of the day, right? I based on watching that, I am like now ready to, you know, buy anything Gillette, right? Because I'm on the you know, maybe that's a way that they can get more passionate fans and get rid of some of those just people that just buy it because they buy it, right? Like, and then they can turn it into some real raving fans that would be all about it. Like for me, I would turn into that and be like, all right, son, you have to use Gillette, right? Because of the things that they bring that's above and beyond the actual razor itself.
Yeah, again, like I said, the Nike Colin Kaepernick thing was like, join us in this movement. Gillette said, you're messing up, change it. So I think that's like, from the comments, what I'm reading is that that's the way people took it, was like, listen, we're not all lumped in with this. And I don't like that you're making it sound like we're all the same. So a lot of the comments were like that, as to where it was like, listen, just because some CEO is a disgusting, filthy human being doesn't mean that I am.
Yeah.
So they should have more or less been like, listen, we're making this loud, join us.
Yeah.
As opposed to change.
Yeah. I do think like in either case, Jim, like you have to have like, you know, the ball's in the right place, as we how we said in Venezuela, right? To just do something like that, right? It's like you have to like be very secure of like, you know, what's happening, either positive or negative, right? And be like really passionate about that message. And you know, when we bring it down, like that's obviously a big corporation at that level, but if we bring it down to our businesses, right? Like are we willing to do that, right? You know, Steve said that he took that identity, the capital SPIG, because you know that's what he stands for, right? You know, earlier we were talking with a guy named Nathan Ruff, and he's very honest. Like he tells you to the face, dude, like I'm gonna like crush you on the business relationship if I don't like it, but that doesn't mean like our friendship is gonna be hurt. Like I just want this to be the best thing. So are we in that position to be so like believe in so much of what we do that we can put a message that polarizing out there, right? So and I think there's levels in between that you got to do it. You know, Josh 40, for example, that's another guy that he like his message lately has been very, very polarizing because he truly believes what he stands for, right? And he's bringing in a ton of hate. Like we were on a call yesterday with him and he's like, man, like what's this? Like how do we manage it? And it's pretty interesting because he's like, man, I'm not going to change it just because of that happening. This is truly what I believe. So, you know, to the audience and people listening out there, like, it's just a very good example. Like, where am I, right? At that level, am I, you know, passionate enough and secure enough on my things and my beliefs that I can actually go do that, or you know, where all in that scale. So I think it's a good measuring stick too for those trying to put something like that out there.
What's cool about
Gillette's gonna be fine.
Right.
They're big enough to recover from this and be fine. You know, people. Well, some of us didn't even see that before.
Right.
So they're going to be fine, but they're at that size. So I wonder if it's a size and a reach thing too. Like, you know, if one of us came out with something so polarizing, would it be something that we could recover from?
But Josh, right? Like to talk about Josh's point. I mean, I think any of us can recover.
Well, Josh took a moment, and I think Corey, you pointed this out. We talked about this where he went out and actually, you know, apologized and said, hey, I'm going to support this decision, even though I don't agree with it. And he still kept his stance.
Yeah, but he
wasn't crazy about it. Yeah.
I agree, you know, and why I was asking on the date is because I was looking at the stock chart, you know, to see how like it affected the company. I mean, they're a company owned by Procter & Gamble, so there's a lot of more than just Gillette in there.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, if you see from January 2019, it just goes up, right? Literally, like for that full year, the stock chart is just going up. Which, of course, again, there's a lot of variables there. I was trying to look for like their Q1 financials and all that stuff. But I mean, like you said, it's going to divide people. So I'm going to hate. But again, to what point, even bad publicity sometimes is good publicity in someone else's eyes, right? Because a media might be butchering you, but someone else reading it, their perception is like, wow, you know, you're doing even better. Like Corey just said right now, he's like, now I just want to buy Gillette razors, right? And I agree. In my point of view, I was like, I stand behind that message. I like it, right? And I think it's often that we see that haters make way more noise than the other side. So I don't know. I've been seeing that pretty often, and you know, at the end of the day, I think the real votes are with the wallet.
I agree. Well said. All right, let's get into one more, and then we'll hit up the chop.
right, while that plays, I'm gonna just say that this is from the Herbalife USA page, but yeah, this is in Spanish. I just gotta throw that out there.
Herbalife.
Herbalife. What did I say?
Herbalife.
Herbalife. Oh yes.
Okay, you're English.
I think we're all gonna have pretty similar opinions on this.
Okay.
It was a nutrition company. Like, is that what that was? That was a
They sell,
nutrition
like,
company.
purses and stuff. Like it looked like an animated Shopify store.
I thought it was eBay when I first saw the ad.
Yeah.
It did not read Herbalife to me at all.
No.
Personally, the only salvageable, if that's a word, thing of this ad is the song. Like, I think the song is the only thing that I like, and I feel it's like a subliminal message that they're trying to play, because the lyric was like, you want it. It's like.
Now the question is, if they know I want it, why did they ask me in Spanish if I want it? That's very confusing.
Yo no sé.
I thought you knew I wanted it.
Yeah.
You want it that bad that even if it's in a different language, you're gonna go purchase it.
I know.
I don't know what they were selling. What were they selling? Like all that stuff?
Yeah, maybe you guys can translate for us here.
I don't get it.
So
I don't understand it.
All I saw was that they asked the question, "Do you want this?"
Yeah. And so that's why it was happening in Spanish. They have a pretty big Hispanic market here in the States, right? Like that's no lie from that company. Like, I consumed in the past some of those products, but at the same, it's not a nutrition. Like, I think it's like so wrong because they're attracting people with the wrong message, and then like what happens in the system in the back end, it's how do you do that? So I mean, let's say I want a speaker, right? Like, how do you get it? And then they teach you how to get it through the selling of this thing, but it doesn't resonate there. That's why there's a lot of bad juju around companies like that,
super confusing.
Absolutely, yes. I love that.
I don't want
it.
That was nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a pretty odd ad, honestly. It was tough to look at it. I don't think if that
I
would
wanted to pause it 3 times.
Yeah. If
Three
that would have,
times, I was like, oh, well, that's enough.
yeah. That going through my feed, I wouldn't have made it more than 5 seconds. Probably I would have been like, next, like not.
No, I would have had no idea what company that was for whatsoever, because I wouldn't have made it through the ad whatsoever.
Yeah, so all the stuff they're showing is just stuff I can buy by selling with Herbalife.
That's the thing. Like, we have no idea. Like,
it doesn't make any sense.
I think I think they're like, okay, grab attention. Like, this is what I think. Like, grab attention and then ask me how can you get all this, and then I'll show you how through whatever process. But no, that's not the way to do it.
Yes, it's tough. Maybe it's an ad that is only for people that already sell Herbalife stuff, right? Maybe we weren't.
Oh yeah, maybe. But even then, though, right?
Maybe they're selling to their own reps to get them to buy an add-on of the store so they could sell stuff, and someone else got it, and we're not reps, so we don't know.
Maybe I think
targeting definitely.
Sorry, what's going through your mind? I see you're like focused right now.
No, it's more like sleepy after watching that. No, I mean, at the end of the day, if they would have done some kind of branding at the beginning, right? Like, forget if I can understand Spanish or not. Like, at the end of the day, if none of us knew what it was for over a minute, like that is just awful. So maybe it's something that they put the branding up front, and it's almost like they would need to call out who they're talking to, and then those people that would know who they're talking to then can get in and watch it, because it's definitely not for the masses.
Or just add some more lyrics to the song. I know you want this. If you saw this, then you can get this.
This was on a Facebook feed, so it comes as in like the Herbalife profile. But still, like if you're going through it, like how do you really pay attention to it?
I think my brother might secretly be a Herbalife.
I know that's why it's there.
I told you I used to. Like
he's
I
about
used
to sell some guys. Run.
That's a reaction it causes, right? Like it's so bad. You don't want people to like talk about you or like that. Like hey, I'm gonna be honest. Like I did consume their protein. Like it was delicious. But when people ask me like, what do you do? Like I wasn't saying that was Herbalife. Not at all. I was like hiding it, and that's not the reaction that you want from your product, right? Like.
We got to take away control from Ron.
Love it.
That's so good.
Next.
All right, now we get into. Do we have enough time for scroll stoppers, or are we going to get into the chop?
The chop.
Huh?
The chop.
Chop. The chop. All
Chop.
right, let's get. All right, let's get in.
Oh, jeez.
Cool.
Does this not have any sound? It does have sound. I'm sorry, guys.
Oh, yeah. So much better.
I totally forgot that it has sound.
I was still invested. Please help us find these guys so we can get them the taco. All right.
That's brilliant.
It's
Man,
brilliant.
that was so good.
I love it. So a little context on this ad. Obviously, they robbed the store, right?
Right.
And I think is first, I mean, props to the owner for creating this out of that situation. I think it's unbelievable,
so
right? I mean, the mindset that guy must have to do that, right? Instead of, oh man, they just robbed my store. And this grabbed like massive traction, like millions of views. I mean, coverage from news media, all that stuff. And then they have like massive lines of people in front of their store, just like because they wanted some amazing tacos.
Genius. Yeah. Where is that based out of? Because we all need to take a chop shop trip.
We'll get tacos, yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, I don't know where they're based off, but yeah, we gotta look it up.
We're gonna have a meeting. At
It is
always.
It's seriously the perfect example of taking your mess and making it your message. Like it's perfect for that, right?
Yeah,
Absolutely.
man, it's so good.
Because who else would have thought of? I mean, think about like somebody pitching that. Hey, we just got robbed. The guy's probably super pissed off, and he's like, "Let's make it a commercial, right?" And then you know, somewhere's like, "Oh, that'll be funny," but then he's like, "Yeah, that'll get those people on the TV, and someone's gonna catch them." Like all the way around, I freaking loved it. It was brilliant.
Yes,
absolutely.
What I loved about it is it didn't feel like an ad.
Right.
It felt like the news, and bad press news gets watched.
Yeah.
So of course I'm more attentive. I'm like, holy crap, they're breaking in. And then this is because they wanted tacos.
Yeah.
Now I'm laughing. And then as they progress, as they progressed, they progressively went more into the sale. And I love that they did that kind of gently as they went along and made it funny. I thought that was
Help
really
us find
cool.
these guys so we can get them tacos. That was
I thought that was great.
Yeah, I think at the beginning, I mean, that footage of like those breaking in like causes curiosity, right? Like we've all seen those videos, and we're like, what are they gonna get? What are they gonna get? And they just like frame it. They give you the answer, like they're just looking for tacos, right? Like and
they're like, homeboy wanted tacos too.
So you're like, oh my god, like really, are you gonna find tacos? Like what's this? And then obviously the whole thing happens, right? I mean, it could have been just fabricated. Do you think a conspiracy theory?
I don't think so. And I love that they included storytelling in that ad. I think their storytelling was really good. It's like they want tacos so bad, and then it's like, but he can get in. So they try the back door, right? And it's just like a perfect story narrated in there. Even the robbers get some conflict getting into a store, then they cannot find the tacos. So maybe the tacos are in the cash register. Let's just take that one.
He does.
It was just genius, honestly.
Actually, we had tacos today, did we?
No, we had quesadillas.
Yes, had tacos.
Yeah, I think you almost rooted for him until the window broke. Right? Like you didn't know that they were the bad guys until that window was down. And then you're like, well, okay, maybe some tacos because you're going along with it until they take the register, right? So like I had these moments where they could have gone the other way.
I wonder if there's tacos in the register.
I loved it. That was my favorite one we've done.
Yeah, that was good. That was good.
Good job.
And I would too. If they
better.
were local, I would want to go get a taco from there. I really would.
Yeah, we need to figure out and then do a content chop shop from that place. Eating tacos.
Live and in person.
Graph.
Yeah. You know what would be good is if we try to contact the guy who made the video or the owner of that company.
Great idea.
See if we can get them on the show.
We do have a ton of leverage. We do have 1, 2, 3, 4 shows here.
Yeah, I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try it out. What do you guys think? And say in the comments, you guys want us to go badger them and stalk them and try and get them on the show?
Yes.
Frijoles and frescas.
I'll comment for them. For anybody out there, I comment yes.
Hashtag tacos.
Yes.
Now I want tacos.
I think it's in Las Vegas.
Oh.
Ooh, it's an easy trip.
Nice. We can all get there like tomorrow.
Yeah. And the excuse, of course, for the family is that we're just going to go get tacos.
It's business.
Yeah.
It's a business trip.
Tax deductible.
Got to record some commercials for this show.
Oh, I can't wait. Oh my God, I can't wait. All right.
Sweet.
It's business, baby. It's business. BIDNESS.
It's business, baby.
Baby.
All right, to all of you guys out there watching, thank you so much for checking this out, and thank you to our amazing hosts here that all come together every other week to make fun of and help out with videos itself. And we will see you in 2 weeks. If you guys have any videos you guys want us to review and talk about, go ahead and link them in the comments section, and we'll check them out next show. Other than that, thanks a lot. You guys have a good one.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah.